There are two people flying from Chicago to London tonight. Marcus is 34. He works in marketing. He booked his ticket 8 weeks ago. $340, United Economy, middle seat, row 29. He left his apartment at 4:30 for a 7:15 flight, because that's what you do. You build in the margin. You account for traffic, for the security line, for the possibility that TSA pulls you aside because your shoes set something off. He checked one bag, $35 extra. He waited in a plastic chair near gate F7, watching the boarding groups get called one by one. Basic. 1, 2, 3. His group was 4. By the time he got on, the overhead bins were already full. He held his backpack on his lap for the first 40 minutes until someone got up.
David is 52. He runs a private equity firm out of River North. He left his office at 6:45. A black SUV took him directly to Signature Flight Support, a private terminal on the west side of O'Hare that most people don't know exists. He walked inside. There was no line. There was no security theater. A woman handed him a glass of sparkling water. 11 minutes later, he was sitting in a Gulfstream G550, wheels lifting off the runway. Door to seat, 11 minutes. Both of them are flying to London tonight. Both of them will land at roughly the same time. And almost everything else about their experience will be different, in a way that has very little to do with comfort, and almost everything to do with what the airline decided they were worth. If you've ever paid a bag fee on a ticket you bought 2 months in advance, subscribe and like this video. This is going to reframe how you see airports forever.
Most people think airline tiers are about comfort. The seat reclines a little more. The food is better. You get a hot towel. That's true, but it's almost beside the point. What airline tiers are actually about is time extraction. Specifically, who absorbs the friction and who doesn't. Every minute you spend waiting in line, every hold you navigate, every fee you pay for things that used to be included, that's not an accident. It's a design decision. The system wasn't built to punish people who can't afford business class. It was built to extract as much as possible from people who have the fewest alternatives. Think about what the boarding queue actually is. It's not logistical. A plane boards faster if you load from the back first. Airlines have known this for decades. The front-to-back system exists because it lets airlines sell priority boarding as a product. The inconvenience is the product. There's an invisible line in every airport. The line is this: can you leave? Can you rebook without penalty? Walk away, take a different flight? Because the moment you become someone they might lose, the whole system treats you differently. Below that line, you wait. Above it, they wait for you. Here's how it actually plays out, tier by tier. Marcus is in basic economy. He paid $340. In exchange for that, United owns the next 14 hours of his life completely. No seat selection, no changes, no refunds. If the flight gets delayed, he sits there. If he misses a connection, he waits at a counter. He's last to board, last to deplane, last to matter. And along the way, the airline will find ways to recapture more money. A bag fee here, an exit row upgrade there, a $14 sandwich because he forgot to bring food. The base ticket is almost a loss leader. The margin comes from everything else they can sell him on the way to the gate. Now move up one level. Say Marcus had flown 50,000 miles on United last year and earned gold status. His bag is free. He boards in zone 2. He might get a complimentary upgrade on shorter domestic routes if the seat opens up. This feels significant, and the airline wants it to feel significant. But here's the number. Reaching gold status on United requires roughly $12,000 in spending in a single calendar year. Not miles flown. Dollars spent on tickets. That's $12,000 to get a free bag and board 40 minutes earlier. People spend years chasing this. The airline prints money off the chase. Business class is where the math inverts. A transatlantic business class seat, Delta One, Atlanta to London, runs around $3,200. Economy on the same flight runs $480. That's 6.7 times the price. But business and first-class passengers account for just 3% of all travelers globally, yet airlines make roughly 75% of their profits from them. That 3% is the product. The other 97% cover the fuel and fixed costs. In business class, you stop being a problem to be managed. You become a guest who needs to be retained. The lounge access isn't a perk, it's retention psychology. The lie-flat seat isn't charity. It's the cost of keeping someone the airline can't afford to lose. First class is its own category. Emirates, Singapore Airlines, Lufthansa, these seats start at $8,000 round trip and climb past $20,000. Emirates First has a private suite with a sliding door and a shower on the A380, an actual shower at 35,000 feet. None of this makes financial sense per seat. It costs more to build, staff, and maintain than it generates directly. Airlines keep first class because it does something else. It makes every other passenger want to be on that airline. Emirates economy passengers book Emirates because they've seen the first class suite in an ad and want to be part of that world, even from the back of it. First class is a $20,000 billboard sold directly to the people wealthy enough to sit in it. And then there's David's world. Private aviation. Charter rates run $3,500 to $18,000 per flight hour. A round trip from New York to Los Angeles on a Gulfstream G550 runs about $102,000. That sounds absurd until you do the math from the other direction. A CEO billing $500 per hour, the recovered time from skipping commercial airports is worth more than the charter cost. The plane becomes a deductible office that travels. Private aviation accesses over 5,000 airports in the United States. Commercial airlines serve roughly 500. David can fly into a smaller airport 20 minutes from his destination, skip the ground transportation entirely, and reclaim another hour on the back end.